It's me, the tree guy!
Hey there, and welcome to Treehouse TCG. This is my first video in a series aimed at getting into competitive Riftbound play. So here's where I'm at so far. I picked up the Lee Sin starter deck to attend my first Nexus Nights with. I've watched a few videos about the rules and such, but I'm still not 100% sure how things like showdowns and spell timings work. I'm hoping that it won't be too much of an issue. So the plan for this first Nexus Knight is I'm just taking the straight starter deck to see what Nexus Knight is like. The leader of this deck is Lee Sin Blind Monk. He is a calm and body leader who can pay 1 energy and exhaust itself to buff a friendly unit. When a unit has a buff, it gets +1 to its might, and it can only hold 1 buff at a time. The starter deck comes with 3 battlefields: Monastery of Hirana, Grove of the Godwillow, and Targon's Peak. As for units, the deck comes with 3 Stalwart Poro, 3 Pit Rookie, 3 Wielder of Water, 3 First Mate, 2 Paka Cub, 3 Wildclaw Shaman, 3 Wizened Elder, 2 Bilgewater Bully, 1 Lee Sin Centered, 1 Udyr Wildman, 2 Stormclaw Earthsign, and 2 Mountain Drake. For spells, there's 2 Charm, 3 Discipline, 3 Challenge, and 2 Stand United. Finally, there's 2 gear, 1 Mask of Foresight, and 1 Mistfall. The deck also comes with 6 Body Runes and 6 Calm Runes, as well as 8 buff/recruit tokens. My first round opponent was against Jinx Loose Cannon. She's a legend that says, at the start of your beginning phase, draw 1 if you have 1 or fewer cards in your hand. So you really want to play out your cards aggressively. My opponent was running a slightly upgraded Jinx starter deck, but has only been playing trading card games for a few months. Since I've played Magic the Gathering for over 10 years, the resource system was pretty intuitive to me and I felt pretty comfortable despite it being my first game. I managed to take the round 2-0, and what I learned from this game is that power costs affect tempo in an interesting way. My opponent played Vi on their first turn going second, and then an accelerated Jinx Demolitionist on their second turn. From there, not only did my opponent only have 4 energy on turn 3, they couldn't play Falling Star because 3 of their Fury runes were at the bottom of their rune deck. My second round was against Victor. Victor is a legend that says you may pay 1 energy and exhaust him to play a 1 might recruit unit token. So Victor decks probably want to take advantage of effects that make multiple units stronger. My opponent was playing a somewhat optimized deck, which they said they used to win a Summoner Skirmish. I ended up losing the round 1-2, and I really felt the difference in card quality here, but that's not the only reason I lost. I definitely made some misplays when it came to timing my reactions, but my biggest takeaway from this game was learning when it's important to try and hold, and when it's important to retreat. I was holding a battlefield for something like 16 might, and my opponent just completely destroyed me with Grand Stratagem on 3 of his recruits. I could have instead pulled everything back but the 1 3 might unit, so I would have had 13 might to play with the following turn, but instead it all got traded for 2 recruits. I also got to experience firsthand just how good Thousand-Tailed Watcher is. My third and final round was against another Jinx. This Jinx was a lower to the ground build and better took advantage of Jinx's legend ability. I ended up going 1-2 in this round as well. The most notable card in my opponent's deck was Draven, which felt impossible to deal with when he had an aggressive start. In game 3, I went first and had no turn 1 play. My opponent played a sneaky deckhand to get his first point. I then played a Wielder of Water and buffed it for my second turn, which my opponent promptly bounced with Gust and then played another sneaky deckhand to the other battlefield to get his third point. On turn 3, I played 2 Wielder of Waters, and my opponent, having gone up to 5 points by holding both battlefields, played an 8 Might Draven.
Welcome to the League of Draven.
That game ended pretty quickly after that. So I learned that I probably want more than 6 2-drops in my deck. Overall, Nexus Nights are a great place to start playing Riftbound even if you don't want to compete at a higher level. My opponents were friendly and there was a judge to help with any rules questions. Lee Sin Centered and Udyr Wildman were the big bombs in my deck. They were the strongest units in my deck even if they weren't the highest cost. I'm interested in getting a few more copies of both of them. Both Stalwart Poro and Pit Rookie were excellent and always welcome. I initially thought that I would be sad to not get value from Pit Rookie, but the lack of 2-drops made me happy to see it even if I couldn't get the free buff. First Mate was way better than I expected. It served as a decent early game play and was also a late game finisher when combined with the more expensive units. It's also a form of pseudo-ganking, because you can move your readied unit to the base, ready it with the first mate, and then move your unit to the other battlefield. Wildclaw Shaman was almost always a good card, and getting value off its effect was never very hard. Wizened Elder surprised me though. I didn't realize how good 6 might for 5 energy is. Not only that, but the energy cost can be split across 2 turns by buffing it on the following turn. I really underestimated this card. For the spells, Charm was really good. It can force showdowns or weaken battlefields, and it's also possible to move your opponent's non-ganking unit to the other battlefield to prevent it from attacking the other one next turn. Overall, just a really flexible and powerful spell. Discipline was really good as well, because it would help save your key units or allow them to trade up with something bigger while also drawing you a card. The 2 energy cost was also extremely relevant whenever Targon's Keep was the battlefield. There are 7 cards that I'm looking to cut because they either underperformed or felt awkward to use sometimes. Both gears, Mistfall and Mask of Foresight, did not feel very good to use, at least in this version of the deck. I feel like Mistfall wants to be played early so that you can take advantage of its readying ability, but I felt like I would give up too much tempo to play it, and then you still have to recycle a body rune every time you want to activate it. The Mask of Foresight also has limited uses, and I pretty much always wished it was just another basic 2-cost unit instead. Wielder of Water feels good when it's attacking or defending as a 4 or 5 might unit, but the condition that it needs to be attacking or blocking alone makes this card pretty weak. Like I mentioned earlier, getting a buffed Wielder of Water bounced with Gust or killed by Falling Star can be devastating. It's also a bit of a non-bow with Challenge. Pakakub is an alright 3-drop that can also be played by recycling 1 energy. As a combat trick, it's not great though, so I think I want to cut this. Similarly, Bilgewater Bully and Stormclaw Ursine weren't particularly bad, but whenever I had one of them in hand, I always wished that it was just another Lee Sin or Udyr instead. Mountain Drake is pretty big, but it's also expensive. It's decent against Thousand-Tailed Watcher, but it doesn't really have much going for it. The 2 cards that I'm unsure about are Challenge and Stand United. Challenge was just really awkward in some situations, because Stalwart Poro and Wielder of Water don't benefit from their effects when using Challenge. However, Challenge is one of the few ways to actually kill units in these colors, and I'm already looking to take out the Mask of Foresight and Wielder of Water, so it might be good in a different version of the deck. Stand United was an okay combat trick most of the time. The problem with it is that played normally, it costs 3 and you still have to work a bit to make the might boost actually decent. A common situation for me was I had 2 units and one of them was buffed. In this scenario, Stand United will boost your units by 3 might for 3 energy, which seems pretty expensive. The only thing that is making me still even consider keeping Stand United is that it can be hidden. Overall, I really enjoyed playing with Lee Sin. His legend ability isn't the most exciting thing ever, but it offers a lot of different options every turn, and allows for a lot of different deck archetypes. That said, I think I'm going to stick with Lee Sin for a bit. So for the next video, I'm going to look into some potential replacements for the cards I want to cut. I'll hopefully be able to attend Nexus Nights again next week so I can test out how good the replacements work. If you want to see some more Lee Sin specific gameplay, or you want to see some more of my journey into competitive Riftbound play, I'll see you in the next video. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.